Let's travel around on this sinking ship country. Shizu's gonna hang out with the peasants and try to convince them to stop the ship. He's gonna get rid of those Tower Clan overlords. But guess what? The peasants didn't want to leave the ship. And now he's gonna get stabbed by a little girl. Shizu fucked up.
Yeah, so welcome back to Kino's Kino, our review of the 2017 Kino's Journey. This week we're doing episode 4, Ship Country on the Beach, where we get our first Shizu focused episode.
Yep.
I wasn't expecting it so soon. I'm wondering if every even episode is going to be a Shizu episode.
I mean, it might be possible, or at least every other episode's like a crossover episode with another secondary character.
Yeah, we're going to get one episode with Photo. I know that.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. That could be interesting.
This is also a significant episode because it introduces another recurring character, though this one I'm not too enamored with, I guess. She's a little confusing. But basically, the plot of this episode is that Shizu and Riku board a giant ship, and it's ruled by this cloaked clan called the Tower Clan, who oversee all the normal human people. And they offer Shizu affordable and comfortable accommodation in exchange for overseeing the people in the ship. But Shizu, refuses and says, no, I'm going to live with the common folk. He's guided to the area where the common folk live, and he expects that he's going to, work at some point. But he's never given any work, and we kind of figure out the reason for that later. Because the Tower Clan sold this to him as, if you don't accept our offer to watch over the people, you're going to have to do the same backbreaking work they do. Those petition writing scum, which is really weird. There's a lot of very confusing things about this episode. But anyway, their guide is a mute girl called Tefana. She helps them explore the ship. They become close. And later, when the ship starts shaking really violently, they discover that sections of the ship are flooding and in disrepair. It's literally a sinking ship. And so they challenge the Tower Clan and say, hey, we need to fix this. It's unacceptable. And the Tower Clan's like, no, let us handle it. You're just an outsider. Screw you. And so then he decides to storm the tower, but he's stopped by another masked visitor who decided, unlike Shizu, to live in the tower and watch over the people.
It was Kino.
Yeah, it's Kino. So Kino and Shizu fight, and they have a repeat of their battle in Colosseum with the same exact strategy Kino used to get the upper hand on Shizu. But then, because Kino isn't quick enough to respond to the Tower Clan when they question what their relationship is, the Tower Clan decides, you know what, we're not going to land on the continent. You two can just stay on the ship until you die. And that, unfortunately, works against their benefit because then Kino and Shizu team up and take out the Tower Clan. And then, they defeat the Tower Clan after the head tower guy asks, Shizu, are you going to become king if we're gone? And Shizu's like, if need be. And then he's like, okay, fine, do it. And so they all disappear. They dematerialize. And so the ship lands on the beach. And then Shizu explains, the ship was sinking, so I needed to get you guys off, and now you can live on the land. And then everyone's like, what? We don't know how to live on the land. We don't like it here. It's weird. We want to go back in the ship. What the heck? Why'd you get rid of the Tower Clan?
Yeah, we need our dangerous shaking that'll eventually kill us.
Sure, we said that they were unfair and we had a lot of disdain for them, but they were doing their job well. What the heck, man?
You're messing with the order, man.
So Shizu kind of really messed up there because he didn't think ahead and who would actually govern these people who have let their governance be in the hands of someone else all their lives, literally, because the ship people were born from babies who grew up only on the ship, literally have had no experience with the outside world at all. They have literally been generations of people who have been born on this ship. So, of course, they can only live on the ship. So they all get back in the ship and sail off. I don't know why Shizu doesn't try and say, you know what? Let me at least fix the ship first. They're like, no, screw you.
I don't think he can fix the ship on his own, though. I think from what they implied is that the ship's beyond repair.
Yeah, I mean, he could have tried harder. That's what I'm saying.
They'd probably be like, oh, this new ship doesn't feel right. It's not shaky and slowly killing us.
Yeah, anyway, Shizu says goodbye to the little girl, T, but T stabs Shizu when he says she should leave with the ship, and then Hermie gives a bunch of exposition about who the Tower Clan actually are, that they were robots of the ship, and that
T was raised by the robots.
Yeah, because she was abandoned by her traveler parents and rejected by the ship's population, which we never really got a sense of.
No one really talks to her, I guess.
Yeah. So, and they also, explain that the ship's inhabitants were all descended from children of the original crew, and they have just been generations of people who have just been living on the ship. But anyway, Shizu forgives Steve for stabbing her, and then she tries to commit double suicide after he collapses by using a grenade. I don't know how she got the grenade, but Shizu shoots the grenade out of her hand, and then later Kino fixes Shizu's wounds and they part ways. So that was certainly a strange episode. For the first half, where it was just Riku and Shizu getting to know the people on the ship and exploring with T, that was nice, and then it gets pretty good still when they are trying to help the people by letting them know, hey, we should fix the ship. And the people of the ship are saying, nah, we'll let the Tower Clan handle it. And so then they go to the Tower Clan and ask the Tower Clan, and the Tower Clan said, you know what, the situation's under control. And then they try, and then they have to, stop the Tower Clan. But it falls apart in, the last couple of minutes when we find out, the Tower Clan were robots, and T was apparently ostracized, even though we got no sense of that in the episode. Okay, so the idea of this episode is the people of the ship country are actually living pretty decent lives. Even though the Tower Clan says that they're forcing them to do hard backbreaking labor, they're not actually doing any hard work at all. We don't actually see that at all. I think you have to, really think about it. Oh, they're actually not doing any work. That's why Shizu is not being given any work. Because there isn't actually much work to do. The people are actually living well. What the Tower Clan does is that they make them feel just unsatisfied enough so that they have motivation to not be lazy. And that's why they start writing petitions and all that. But it's not like that their lives are bad. It's just creating the status quo where they're motivated enough to want to do things and not just let the Tower Clan do everything.
They don't become like the people in WALL-E.
Right, but at the same time, the Tower Clan really is basically looking out for them and taking care of them pretty well. They're not actually mistreating them.
I mean, the ship is sinking, but at the same time, what are they going to do?
These people say that, the travelers mistreat us by overseeing us. We don't actually ever see that. I actually doubt that they ever have, because it doesn't seem like the Tower Clan actually ever was mistreating them.
Yeah.
It was just trying to motivate them enough to make them unsatisfied enough so they would actually do things.
They won't give us our caviar. They're being so cruel.
Exactly. They're actually pretty selfish, spoiled brats. So the thing about the Tower Clan is they are still flawed because they are robots, so they don't know what to do other than to maintain the status quo. So even though it's a sinking ship, they're you know what, we're gonna pacify the people. We're gonna make them believe everything is okay, even though eventually in a couple years the ship is gonna sink and everyone's gonna drown, you know?
I mean, couldn't right before it sinks they just stop the ship at a port and then...
Sure, but at the same time, the excuse as to why they didn't stop for repairs or to let the people off earlier is that, these people were born on the ship. They don't know how to live on land, which
that's true.
So the robots are actually kind of dumb in that respect because they're like, I guess the people won't know how to live on land, so I guess we'll just keep them on the ship until the ship sinks and dies. I guess that's all we can do. We're robots. We can only follow our programming. We can't really think outside the box. So, it is a sinking ship where everyone is complicit in the system that lets the sinking ship happen because the general populace believes the Tower Clan will fix all the problems and that everything will be okay. And the Tower Clan's like, we can't really fix the problem. And the people don't know how to live without us spoon-feeding them how to do everything. So we're just gonna let them know everything's fine, even though it's not fine.
They need their vibrating ship. The little kids can't live without them.
Literally, one of the kids says, "This place sucks. It doesn't shake. I want to go back on the ship."
I want to die on the ship with the vibrations, Mom.
The more I talk about this story, the more I kind of like it. Like, it's not supposed to be like this exact parallel to this real world political situation because it's so fantastical, that this idea that about the people and the so-called political upper classes controlling them are so dumb and so lazily steadfast in their ways that they're just willing to perpetuate the sinking ship until they all die. So in that respect, when I think about it like that, it's pretty fun. When you try to actually apply it to real life political situation, it doesn't work because I read a review where it's like, what? Real life upper class politician people aren't robots or whatever, and I don't like this message about how people need other people in charge in order to keep the society going.
It's kind of true, though.
I mean, in this particular episode with this society, it makes sense in this context because literally all these people know is how to live on the ship.
Even
at the
then,
same time,
it's an over-exaggeration of the actual real-life situation.
Yeah.
But I'd say to an extent, not nearly to this extent, because this extent's more over the top.
Yeah, it's way too absurd to actually draw a direct
it's a
parallel.
Dramatization of the leadership-commoner relationship.
Not the exact language I want to use, but I would say that I enjoyed this episode in that respect. The weirdest part to me, the part that made the least sense, is why T stabbed Shizu. They explain is that, I can't go back on the ship. No one likes me there. You're the only people that's actually kind to me. And see, the thing that doesn't work about that is we don't see the people mistreating her at all. That just comes out of nowhere. Hermes just gives this big exposition about her history.
I think the big part is that they aren't mistreating her, they're not interacting with her.
It says that the people of the ship reject her because she's the daughter of an outsider.
Well, yeah, and they aren't talking to her, and that's the thing. They aren't interacting with her. The only person she's interacting with is Shizu. And we see that she's, pretty much staying with Shizu the entire time. Because, she doesn't have anything else to do, because no one else will interact with her. And with the Tower Clan gone, she has no one left, because the Tower Clan was at least looking out for her. The commoners aren't. The commoners don't give a shit about her. So with the Tower Clan gone, she's mad, and that's why she stabbed Shizu.
Okay. I just think that they could have done a better job developing this girl's character, because, she barely has a character until, the last couple minutes, where it's I was abandoned by my parents, and I have been lonely, and I'm so desperate that I am going to commit double suicide with you because I can't go on living without you. That, and when she became a psychopath, that's when she actually got a character. The only way she's gonna continue to be interesting if she continues to be a crazy psycho.
Every country that Shizu goes to now, she'll randomly stab someone.
It's pretty funny that Shizu's traveling companion is a crazy psycho. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
The whole metaphor of people need an authoritarian upper class to lead them isn't, actually supposed to be taken that seriously because, the robots are not analogous to, a real-life political situation, and the little girl thing is a bigger issue with me, but I can still kind of get it. I don't think this episode was done the best and how it handled both its teams and its character development. Because, I mean, Shizu, I think, came out the most in character in this, in the sense that I can see why he did what he did. It makes sense that someone who is so triggered by seeing a populace being mistreated by the ruling class, that he would go fight on their behalf without actually thinking about the big picture and what to do next after he had taken out the existing power hierarchy.
He's thinking what's best for...
He's
like
thinking with his heart, but not his brain, you know?
Like, he means well, but it's not what the people want.
Yeah, and I don't know how the people are gonna get on without the robots. I mean, I
think they probably won't.
Yeah, so he probably screwed them over. That's a recurring theme, is that in their travels, Kino repeatedly causes the downfall of some country. That's 3 episodes in a row now.
Did she cause the downfall?
I mean, she was complicit. By not stopping the moving country, she was complicit in them, like, wrecking the country behind the wall.
Yeah, but they didn't really destroy the country. The only thing they really destroyed with that country was part of their wall and then that old lady's house and then the greenery. The country itself was like an empire. So, like, it's not like the traveling country destroyed the empire.
Sure, I'm just saying they still caused destruction in the country.
Yeah, that's true.
So here she also is complicit in...
I mean, it's not her fault this time, it's Shizu's. Kino did nothing wrong.
I mean, she's complicit. She also shot her fair share of the Tower Clan.
Yeah, but she didn't kill them.
And she also comes up looking worse because... Unlike Shizu, who decided to live with the people and say, no, I'm not gonna be complicit in subjugating these poor innocent people. Screw you, elite upper-class Tower Clan. Kino's like, yeah, I'll help you. I'll oversee these people. I'll shoot a bitch if I need to. I don't care. I'm Kino. I just want the comforts in life. Like, I've realized this version of Kino is much more selfish and much more interested in personal comforts than the Kino of the original.
Part of me is wondering if, like, maybe she kind of figured out that they didn't want her to go down there.
Then they did not make that more clear.
Yeah.
I mean, I also don't get the Tower Clan's indirect way of trying to ward people off.
Why don't they just say, yeah, we don't want you going down there, you're just going to oversee them?
Yeah, they should have just done that. They should have just been direct. Don't interact with the people. They don't have experience with people from the outside.
They're idiots.
Basically, yeah. Don't mess with their ideas because they won't know what they're talking about.
They don't know what hard work is. They
literally don't know.
Just send them their caviar. They'll be fine.
They write these petitions that are useless because
we need extra butter with our lobster. Why aren't the scallops?
It's not like these people are like totally, living in luxury. Like they have enough food and whatever, but like it's not like they are completely comfortable. So like that, they're just unhappy enough to be motivated to do work, but it's not like they're actually in any danger or poverty or family.
Yeah, they're just relaxed back, having their avocado toast. They're
the more I think about it, the less sympathetic I am with the ship country people. I mean, I am sympathetic that Shizu screwed them over, but I'm also less sympathetic about the fact that they were writing petitions because they actually were being subjugated or wrong.
Should we go into whether this episode was Kino or not?
This episode wasn't Kino. There's just too many confusing metaphors. I still don't really care about Tia and that whole scene where she stabbed Shizu. Like, I mean, it's funny, but I still don't think it worked very well. This episode wasn't Kino, but I enjoyed it. Certainly talking about it, there's a lot that is fun to talk about. It's fun. It's a funny episode. I don't think we should take episodes like this too seriously in terms
I
of
don't think it's meant to be taken like 100% serious.
Because you can understand some ideas of teamology on there. It's pretty easy, but at the same time, like when he adds all these sci-fi stuff, like oh, the tower climbers robots, and oh, these people have literally lived all their lives on the ship and don't know anything else. As soon as you get that fantastical, like, you should stop worrying about that stuff and just enjoy it for the surface level entertainment value.
When you have lines like the kid saying that he needs his shaking ship,
right? How seriously can you take that? How seriously can you take the fact that he stabs Riku in the stomach and then immediately we get exposition about her backstory and she forgives her and then she tries to blow them up with a grenade? Okay.
But yeah, I mean...
I don't know if this episode was actually good in a good way or good in so bad it's
I think it was good in a good way.
Okay. I'm on the fence about that. I enjoyed the episode regardless, though.
Yeah.
You know? It was... Actually, thinking about it, I enjoyed the previous episode a lot. I complained about it a lot, but, you know, I rewatched it afterwards, and I enjoyed it more. Like, I feel like when I don't think about the teams very seriously, and I don't try to consider this version of Kino as the same as the previous Kino, because pretty much they're two different characters. And if I enjoy this show for what it is right now and what this Kino's characterization is, I can get behind it and I can find enjoyment out of it. It's not as smart or thoughtful as the original anime.
I think the original anime also was a lot more picky with the stories it chose.
This is so much more narrower.
Yeah, it was actually able to paint Kino, where with this one we're going with fan-chosen stories, so we're seeing like a very skewed depiction of
It's about
Kino.
the more destructive countries and the ones that have more violent stuff happening.
Like, the original was showing us a much more well-rounded take. Here we're kind of going one-sided to Kino shooting.
Yeah, we have a very narrow focus and narrow tone and characterization of stories.
Dark countries and character introduction stories. That's pretty much what we're getting.
But I can say that I'm enjoying it. I think that I can enjoy this version of Kino for what it is now that I've kind of gotten it out of my mind to expect what the original anime did.
Mm-hmm.
So, will it be as interesting? Probably
not. No, not at all.
It could be entertaining for all the weird stuff that happens, and still the nature of the countries themselves is interesting.
Yeah.
The nature of the ship country is interesting, regardless of how well or not well it correlates as a metaphor to a real-life political situation.
I think also, just speaking about the country itself in this one, I think design-wise, this country was like it visually looked a lot cooler. Like, it didn't really...
Yeah, I like the slums in the ship country. I like the design of the ship country a lot, actually.
Yeah, so. it felt more unique.
Yeah, so...
Yeah,
I don't know. I would say this episode is actually a step down now that I've reevaluated episode 3. I think I do like that episode better, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably like on your side on whether or not it's Kino or not. It's not Kino, but I like the episode.
You know, I guess that's all we can want from this point. Like, we're not getting 2003 Kino's Journey, but 2017 Kino's Journey is alright. It can be fun for how weird it can be.
Sinking ships, breaking through walls with mega lasers.
How will Kino destroy the country of liars, me lord? What kind of crazy stuff is she gonna pull? Is she gonna overthrow the country of liars? Is she gonna shoot people up again?
I don't know. It might just be like the first country and she just like hangs back while everyone else does the shooting.
I mean, that would be more in line with the Kino's Journey stories I like best, but considering the nature of this adaptation, I'm not expecting that kind of story.
Someone's gonna lie and say Kino fucked their bitch, and then like...
What?
Kino's gonna have to shoot the guy in self-defense.
Okay. Well, I think we pretty much have ran the gambit of our thoughts on this episode. Do you have anything else to add?
I think we covered all the bases.
Well, yeah. I guess we'll see what the Countries of Liars is all about. But until then, have a beautiful day.